densities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel?
Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Now back to the show.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Let's get back to it, shall we? Nate Ivey in the air chair. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, the last honest place in America, and your morning destination for interesting conversation. Many folks in the chop shop. Let's get into it. And please, nobody ask me about them damn Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't mean to swear with you this morning, but I mean, what do you want me to say? I see what you see. I see a team that's got completely punked out. I mean, the Cleveland Cavaliers don't even set good screens. I was telling my uncle about it a couple of days ago. They don't even set good screens. I mean, their screens look choppy. That team needs to be completely rebuilt. Completely rebuilt. Now, maybe if they played against another team, a lesser squad, they'd have a real chance. But Golden State is something different. I mean, as a competitor, you want to come up against a team like that because you can test yourself against a team like that. Like when I was playing ball like on a regular basis recreationally, I used to love to play against a team against the best players. All the best players in the gym would be on one squad. I want to be with these other cats over here just to see if we can beat you. But that's just the way my heart is pumps. You know, that's just how the competitor is inside of me. Maybe I'm different. So I feel the same way about the Cleveland Cavaliers as I did the Oklahoma City Thunder. Either you step up or you get stepped on, period. 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 I've got no love lost about it whatsoever. Later on today, let me switch gears here to some city news, and that's city of Cincinnati. Good morning to you. Currently 7:48 a.m. in the Queen City. But later on today, as I'm reading, Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieters is going to announce his decision on charges in the Cincinnati Zoo case. As I understand, there's a 1 p.m. scheduled time for that press conference. 1 p.m. So what do you think he's going to say? Why is he taking so long? How would you feel if this woman is charged with, like, child endangering on, like, the less account, and then she gets probation? Is that what she deserved, probation? You tell me. My opinion has not changed. I feel the same way. That woman has suffered enough. That's it. And as I'm understanding, the exhibit is going to reopen tomorrow. And they're going to reopen it with a higher reinforced barrier. Now, doesn't that admit some liability on some levels? You're going to reopen the exhibit, and this time you're going to put a higher barrier. My question is pretty simple. In the interest of public safety, why didn't they do that before the new season started? Very simple. And that's very, very troubling to me. If he charges that woman, it will be an example. The reason why is this. I'm going to tell you this. If Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieters, and I got to catch up with Alan Triggs. Alan, if you're out there, I will be calling you later on today. We got to hook up. We got to set that up for this week, okay? All right, Chop Shop, I will set that up for this week if Mr. Triggs has the availability because he could be a possible choice. If, in fact, Joe Dieters decides to run for re-election. But if he charges her, it will be because on some levels, mainstream society does not understand that black people really feel pain and anxiety and things like that. It will be a denial of black pain because to me, the woman has suffered enough. Leave her alone, damn it. Leave her alone. Simple as that. Nothing else needs to be done. It's over. How do you feel about this? Recently, the local FOP, that's Fraternal Order of Police president, his name is Dan Hills. And I like to talk to Mr. Dan Hills here on the Nathan Ivey Show. The door is absolutely open. If anybody's got to connect, let me know. But he recently slammed the city manager, Harry Black, okay, because he had heard that Harry Black wants to pose with some new police cruisers for a promotional photograph ahead of the news conference announcing the new vehicles. Now, the FOP is saying, listen, why are you delaying these cruisers from hitting the streets, right? There's a reason why we asked for them, okay? Our officers are not safe. And you delaying this by even a day, by even any amount of time, is basically bad news for us just so you can go take a photo out. Now, of course, the city manager's office denied this, but is there some truth there? That'd be interesting. I mean, if I'm a police officer, I want to make sure I get into the cruiser as fast as possible. I don't want to be driving around with this old, ancient technology. I want the new shiny stuff. And it's going to be held up a week or 2 or 3 days so you can take a photograph and you're the city manager. Hell, you're not even going to be riding in them. You're not going to be driving these. What do you think? What do you think? Is there any truth to that? If so, on whose side would you fall on that? I'm also reading that there's some talk about Hamilton County Commissioner Greg Hartman perhaps someday replacing his fellow Republican Joe Dieters as Hamilton County prosecutor. Think about that. Also, the state of Ohio has to reimburse Planned Parenthood up to $45,000 in legal fees following this fake fight over the health organization's disposal of fetal remains. Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine accused early this year Planned Parenthood of dumping fetal tissue from abortions in Kentucky landfills. This is what Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine is doing? This is what you're doing? Did you vote on Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine when he was running? And I didn't vote for the buster. Maybe some of you did. But this is what you're doing? You're running around trying to figure out where people are putting fetal tissue? What the hell? Oh, we are living in the last days in common sense. I don't know what this world is coming to. I have no idea.
And sisters, I don't know what
we
this
are living in
world
the
is
last days in
to.
common sense, brothers and sisters. This is what you're doing? I mean, listen, man, anytime, I mean, even if it's like an hour in a month that Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine is wasting his time trying to shut down or to irritate, agitate any of the moves, any of the daily business of the good folks over at Planned Parenthood, who, by the way, are doing great work in our community. People need to understand that they do a lot more than just possible abortions at Planned Parenthood. I mean, come on, man. You got cavemen out here. I got to pull you from the Jurassic period, okay? They do a lot more than that. And really, this is about women's health. You know, here's what it comes down to. If you didn't have so many stale, pale, crusty, lame-ass, primarily white males, I'm being honest with you, in the state legislature, General Assembly, if you had more women who were able to represent their own bodies and their own interests, you'd have less of this nonsense. Leave women alone. Leave them alone, please. If you don't like abortions, then don't have one. That's what someone should tell Mr. Mike DeWine. Okay? He appears to be a man, which means he does not have a vagina. But I'm just saying, if he's so upset and so, oh my God, about abortions, don't have one. Okay? Marry a woman that doesn't believe in that. And that's it. That's it. I do not believe that these Christian folks, these religious zealots, these self-righteous, right? The self-appointed, self-righteous moral guardians of Ohio are not getting any brownie points with God. All right? That's the heavenly body who's going to judge us all one day. You don't get no points for that. This is not like extra credit. That's not gonna be the difference between you getting into heaven and not getting into heaven, because on earth you were a crusader, you fought against abortion. Mind your own damn business. Here's the real challenge for anybody who you feel like, well, he's talking about me. If you really feel that way about children, if you really feel that way about babies, you love the babies, then go adopt some. Go adopt some children. Matter of fact, let me write this down. More PSAs on adoption. Adoption, PSAs. And then a little arrow going up for more. We need more of that, because some of these self-righteous, self-appointed moral guardians are straight up hypocrites. In fact, many of them are. You want to talk all this jazz about the unborn child, but as soon as a child is born, you want to prosecute the daddy. You want to prosecute the mother. I mean, look at what's happening with the gorilla mom. Listen, I just put it together because it was easy for me to frame it, okay? I don't want that to take off necessarily, because that's imbued with that's heavy. That's heavily charged, okay? I'm just saying. You got people that want her to be fired, and she's a mother. So all these folks talk all this jazz about the unborn baby, the unborn fetus, and as soon as that baby's born black, they got a problem with it. They got a problem with the mama. They want to kick you off welfare, and you can't even raise your kid. Or they want you to get a drug test so you can get some government cheese. This is crazy. I'm telling you, we're living in the last days of common sense. So these people are running around trying to drug test single moms to make sure you don't buy any beer or it's really you for your government cheese. Meanwhile, you got you got some real cats living large off the government dole in terms of military contracts. You got a lot of no-bid contracts in a lot of cases. But I'm supposed to crack down on single mothers. It's ridiculous. So as soon as the baby's born black, you immediately fear it. Immediately fear it. I'm talking about these self-appointed, self-righteous, self-appointed moral guardians running around here talking about shut down Planned Parenthood. Do you know how devastating that would be? You know how many women are serviced by that? You got folks coming from Kentucky, from all over, who are being serviced by that clinic. Leave those folks alone. Leave them alone. Let them do their business. Just irritating, man. It really is. On the real, it's very irritating. As soon as the baby is born, when it's in the mother, oh, it's the most beautiful creature. Oh, life is precious. Life is so precious. As soon as the baby's born black, you fear it. As soon as the baby's born a minority, this country, many people in this country start to project a lot of their implicit bias, right? A lot of their isms onto the child and the mother. Can't stand the mama, can't stand the daddy. We want to put you in these substandard neighborhoods and give you substandard teachers and curriculums and then act like you had a real chance to make it. I could do this all day. I really can. As you can tell, this is a topic in which I have a lot of passion about, but I think I've said enough. What do you think? Good morning, Daryl. Good to see you. Brian writes, Mike and Mike this morning keep reading the quotes from people, more like white people, stating that he's not a hero just because he didn't go to war. They just keep stating this, almost as if they believe it. Disrespectful. Right. Black and white people, I think, see Muhammad Ali differently. And listen, I'm generalizing here, and I'm telling you up front, and of course, there's always going to be an exception to any rule or any generalization. I give you that. Okay, but generally speaking, I'm wondering if there isn't a racial divide in terms of how we view Muhammad Ali. I think black people respect Muhammad Ali because he put it on the line for them, for us, when he didn't really have to. And there's so many black people that get some fame or they get some status and they change. It's all about them now. They don't give a damn about the masses. They don't care about the fans or the people. Ah, man, please. Okay? You know that's true. But then many white folks, many European Americans in this country, they see him as this great boxer, and that's why he was the greatest. Negative, no. Dale writes, good morning, great people of the Chop Shop crew. Good to have you. James writes, good